You've been reading, highlighting, saving tutorials, yet your hands still hesitate when it's time to actually do the thing. Here's the paradox this chapter opens with. Learning faster doesn't come from cramming more in. It comes from cutting through the noise and getting your hands dirty earlier than feels comfortable. The question underneath is simple and piercing. What would happen if you practiced first and studied later? If you want momentum you can feel, this is where you start. Today, it gets personal because it's your time, your focus, and your future on the line. Keep that image of your hesitant hands. We'll come back to it. Apply it now. Notice one place you're consuming instead of doing. Peter Hollins writes about how people actually improve, how psychology and practice shape the skills we carry into our work and our lives. His book, The Science of Rapid Skill Acquisition, is a field guide for learning efficiently rather than endlessly. It's practical by design, so you can move from knowing to using. That message matters more than ever. Information is abundant, but applied skill is rare. Apply it now. Decide that this chapter is about action, not notes. This chapter sets the foundation. It reframes learning as a purposeful, active process and shows you what to focus on first so every hour counts. Think of it as your launch pad. Choose what to learn, understand how learning unfolds, and build habits that move you forward. Apply it now. Choose one real skill you care about, not a vague topic, but a skill you can do. The core message is crisp. Rapid skill acquisition begins with clarity and action. Pick a meaningful target, accept that learning moves through predictable stages, and spend more time doing the skill than circling around it. Apply it now. Write one sentence that defines the outcome you want. First, decide what to learn and why. Vague goals multiply distractions. This chapter pushes you to name the skill and the purpose it serves in your life. If you can't answer, "Why does this matter right now?" your attention will leak. Make the skill concrete, like hold a 5-minute conversation in Spanish about my work, edit a 3-minute video with clean cuts and royalty-free music, write a cold email that gets one reply per 10 sends. When you specify the outcome, your brain starts filtering for what helps and dumps what doesn't. Apply it now. Finish this sentence. I'm learning X so I can Y by Z date. Second, replace passive intake with active practice. Reading, watching, and highlighting feel productive, but they don't build the circuits you need. Doing the skill, even badly, does. The chapter frames study as a support activity, not the main event. Learn just enough to try, then immediately test yourself. If you're learning coding, write tiny programs that break and fix them. If you're learning public speaking, stand up and deliver 1 minute to your phone camera. If you're learning sales, role-play the opener and the ask. Action creates feedback. Feedback creates traction. Apply it now. Schedule a 20-minute do first block today. Third, understand the stages of learning so you don't sabotage yourself. Early on, everything feels clumsy. You're thinking hard, making obvious mistakes, and progress looks invisible. That's normal. With repetition, you shift from conscious, effortful steps to smoother sequences. Decisions come faster because you've built patterns. Eventually, more of the skill runs on autopilot and you can focus on nuance instead of survival. The trap is mistaking stage 1 discomfort as a sign you're not capable. It's not inability, it's the cost of admission. Apply it now. Label where you are, early, middle, or smoothing, and set expectations accordingly. Fourth, aim for good enough to be useful, not perfect. Rapid skill acquisition isn't about impressing experts. It's about reaching a level where the skill works for your goals. Define a simple threshold. the email that gets replies, the song you can play end to end, the meal you can cook reliably, the presentation that lands the point without your notes. When you chase usefulness, you naturally prioritize high-impact subskills and ignore polish that doesn't move the needle. Later, you can refine. For now, function beats flourish. Apply it now. Write your minimum useful standard in one sentence.
Fifth, build short, focused loops of practice and feedback. Long marathon sessions invite burnout and sloppy form. Short cycles keep urgency high and errors visible. Try brief bursts where you attempt, check, adjust, and go again. The point is to keep the signal strong. Are you getting closer to your defined outcome or just getting tired? Feedback can be self-recording, a checklist, a mentor's note, or a simple success-fail metric tied to your outcome. The faster the loop, the faster the learning. Apply it now. Pick one feedback method you'll use this week. Sixth, make your environment your ally. Distraction is the silent tax on every skill. Clear the desk, close the tabs, put your phone out of reach, and lay out the exact tools you'll touch. If possible, make a practice station that reduces setup friction to near zero, so starting requires almost no willpower. People count as environment too. Tell one person your outcome and when you'll report back. Friction down, accountability up. That's how you go from intention to repetition. Apply it now. Remove one friction and add one accountability today. Seventh, track small wins to carry you through the dip. Early progress is fragile and easy to overlook. A simple log, attempts made, minutes practiced, a note on what improved, keeps your mind honest and motivated. When you can point to effort and tiny outcomes, you're less likely to quit right before momentum compounds. Learning isn't a straight line, but it is a line if you keep showing up. Apply it now. Start a tiny practice log with today's date and one line. Notice how these ideas connect. By choosing a meaningful outcome, you know what to practice. By practicing early, you generate feedback. By recognizing the stages, you protect your confidence. By aiming for useful, you cut waste. By shaping your environment and tracking wins, you build a rhythm that sustains. This is how learn faster becomes something you can feel in your bones, not just understand in your head. Apply it now. Read your outcome sentence aloud and commit to one practice block in the next 24 hours. Let's gather the essentials. Rapid skill acquisition starts with clarity. Pick one skill and the reason it matters now. Learning advances through stages, so don't confuse clumsy starts with lack of talent. Study supports practice, not the other way around. Try first, then learn what you need to fix. Define useful and aim for it. Function before polish. Work in short, focused loops and engineer your environment to make starting easy and quitting awkward. Track small wins so your motivation survives the messy middle. When you do these simple things consistently, the hesitation in your hands turns into muscle memory and momentum. Apply it now. Choose, act, adjust, today. Close your eyes and return to those hesitant hands. Imagine them moving, typing the first lines, strumming the first clean chord, delivering the opening sentence without your notes. That's the promise of this chapter. Not someday, but now. I want you to take one next step with me. Watch next is our goal. Tap the video on the right about the next chapter, strategic planning for your practice, so you know exactly how to structure your first week. And before you go, tell me in the comments, what's the one useful outcome you're committing to this week? Save this for tonight's practice and send it to one friend who's been stuck at the starting line. Today is different.